Hello guys, and finally we are here, the roster reveal for both series. So we are starting with the Universal Orlando Cup Series that's going on by. Cannot wait to show. A big thanks to all the people who painted any type of cars. I'll put links down in the description down below for those who want to check them out, all their work and everything. So without further ado, we'll show who is in what ride, and if there's any major significant changes coming along the way. So let's start off with Trent Diamond, the one. He's got a new sponsor with him in Vodafone. He'll, of course, have Sega with him as well in the season. One of the team captains for Keith Motorsports. Benjamin Miles moves over with Hertz Racing and goes to Keith Motorsports in the number 2. And this is the first time that the number 2 is in a Chevrolet. So it's just going to be very weird to see. But regardless, though, Miles, cannot wait to see what he's going to be doing in his first season with the team in the Cup Series. And I believe this is his 4th season altogether. Hard enough to believe, too. Kate Anderson stays in the 3 for her 3rd season. And she's got Texaco Havoline on board for her tenure for the season as her main primary sponsor. Dylan Thoreau, he's got VisitFlorida.com, a part of new team, Spirit of Daytona Racing. Keith Motorsports does have some funding into this as well, but cannot wait to see what's going to happen to that 14 there. Johnny Gardner moves over from the 12 to the 5, has Spectrum aboard for their main primary sponsor. And originally, there was just a whole bunch of things going on with the 5 team about what was going to be, but this was a main primary sponsor for sure, Spectrum Cable. And most importantly, too, the fact that, they're back to Chevrolet, and they form Evans-Gardner Motorsports. Gardner Motorsports and 2 other small teams. They make a big formation to form Evans-Gardner. We'll talk about the other 2 in just a bit. Zach Rogers, the only Dodge in the field after, we'll talk about the other 2 as we get by, who were originally Dodges, and then what the changes were. Let alone the car number team that was a part of the original Dodge as well. But Rogers, the only Dodge in the field, is mentioned. MSI NAR is the main primary sponsor for that 16. I believe that was their primary sponsor last season, too. I could be wrong on that. But regardless, Zach Rogers definitely won a rebound after last season. He did absolutely horrendous. Zachary Fitzwater, the Cup Series champion, moves over. Has emerged from Fitzwater Australia Racing to Evans-Gardner, and he moves over to the 7, Menards Chevrolet. So this will be both Xfinity and Cup Series champions will be in the field, which we'll talk about the Xfinity champion later on. Zachary Fitzwater moving over for the 59 to the 7. Definitely a great season. He got to call himself a champion. Will he add on to be a 2-time champion? We have yet to see that in the NRSL. Could it be a possibility? Ever since Chris Washer's retirement, too. The 8, William Flickinger. Now, Zach had the 96 last season, had a good send-off, 2 wins. Was battling for championship at one point, but they kind of fell apart. They got the 8 back from Keith Motorsports after them not obtaining the number, and I believe the 2 was the one that got rebranded from the 8, from what I have gathered. Regardless, though, William Flickinger, good to see some familiar face in the number 8 car there as a Flickinger Racing there. They got on board Exalta as well as they got some other sponsors aboard. Can't wait to see what they'll do. They do have a new teammate, which we'll talk about in a bit too. Kev Shearer, I know you're going to see his Starcom Racing and all, but that is Evans-Gardner as well. That is the 3rd team, or the 3rd team that merged together with Shearer Trigger Incorporated. And Kev running all the Starcom fiber schemes as well as a nice little fitting throwback, and then maybe some others along the way as well. Kev Shearer, though, definitely won a rebound after last season. Not a good run he had. Now we go to S3 Motorsports. Jessica Shelton in the 02, your Daytona 500 winner from last season. Definitely made some history, and that became the first ever female to win the Daytona 500. That was a big deal when we were there months ago. Actually, I think it was 11 months ago when we had that Daytona 500. Could she go 2 in a row? We shall see. Other than that, she had a good season until the chase came. And when the chase came out, it's just been her Achilles heel there. So hopefully she gets a redemption. If she makes the chase, can she rebound? And Charles Sanford, her other co-captain teammate there, is Coke Zero Vanilla on board for this season, which is a new sponsor because normally he's been used to Coke Vanilla. Now you add on Coke Zero Vanilla. You got some other sponsors on there as well, but that's the main primary sponsor for that 03. Definitely won a rebound for last season. Kind of fell apart towards the end. John Art stays in the 05, but is a part of Mire Racing Toyota. Him and another driver we will talk about. They have left the team. Kyle Keith has given him the bump out, and MRT is taking the 05. They kept the car, kept the sponsor, changed the paint, and threw in the Toyota. So Zaxby staying aboard for that team, and no surprise right there. He's definitely a nice look indeed. Definitely John Westellian up there. Want some redemption for sure from last season. Seth Cole, probably the biggest shock with silly season. Him moving from Tweenix Racing, the team that he's co-owned with Dylan Poteet, and has joined S3 Motorsports, a part the 07 for S3 Motorsports. They bring along Last of Us Part 2, as well as many other sponsors coming aboard the 07 team. Definitely looking forward to see how this move will go. Remember, him and his teammate both made, or the teammate from last season, made the chase. So, interesting ordeal from there. Kyle Matthews keeps Kings Island. No surprise. This is part of the 09 for the third season there. Not really a good season for the 09, despite winning the Budweiser shootout. So, keep an eye on that when we go over to Warren Keith's channel, because that will be where the entirety of Speed Weeks is, with the exception, of course, of when the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series run their distinctive races, which I'll talk more about that once we get to the Xfinity side, about everything that's coming on by, for those who have not heard of. Ramian Fisher finally gets his call up to Cup after he spent a season in Cup way long ago. Now he's finally returned, but a part of a new team, Full Frontal Motorsports, which finally has its own Cup team. Credit One Bank is his main primary sponsor for the season. Also has another sponsor on board for the season, as well as a throwback on board. Can't wait to see what happens with Ramian Fisher. Finally, he is driving in the Cup level. It's taken a long time, but he is finally ready. Alex Drayton, the runner-up to last season's champion, Zachary Fitzwater. What a stellar rookie season he had. Unbelievable run. Unfortunately, did fall a little bit short in that battle for the championship, but again, what a season. You're probably noticing it's Tweenix Racing, so that is the one that took over Seth Cole's ride and switched over to a team. So not a bad pickup for Tweenix Racing. They had a big loss, but a not bad pickup. However, one thing is concerning: the sophomore slump could happen to Alex Drayton. I'm not too sure. You hear my dogs bark in the background. Regardless, Jamba Juice, the main sponsor for the season for the 14 team, as well as Home Depot and one other scheme as well. Phil Parker, running Cheerios, is his main primary sponsor for the season, having a Clint Boyer feel for the entire main portion of the season there. And it's not the throwback car. You'd be surprised at that one. It is not. Very nice looking scheme regardless. Phil Parker really did not have a good season there, despite winning an Armory Digital in that photo finish over James Qualls. Still, though, Parker wants to have a good season. He knows he can do it. But can he, though? Sky Commons, a part of Sin City Racing. It's got some funding from Seg Keith Motorsports. That is why you notice the Chevrolet and the Bass Pro Shops right there. They dropped Dodge, and there was some funding that needed to be made. Otherwise, they would have been sponsorless. Seg Keith came on in, helped them out, because remember, they helped out Sky Commons' secondary driver at the time. So now they've helped out Sin City Racing. We shall see what happens to that 17 team. They made the chase last season. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe they did make the chase. So, or I mean, win a race, excuse me. Why am I saying that twice? That's weird. I believe they did. I could be wrong. I'm hearing from what I'm gathering, it is not true. I could be wrong on that. Regardless, I'll have to look back at the tapes and make a little edit, saying if he did or not. But Sky Commons, Bass Pro Shops, primary sponsor. Noah Hart. This was probably the biggest surprise with silly season coming around. You know, anything could happen. Difference in drivers, teams, and everything. You thought Seth Coles was crazy. Noah Hart said, hold my drink. Watch this. He decides that after Anthony McCurry retires and Flickinger Racing was the one that gets the second ride, Noah Hart announced he'd be able to come back to the series. Flickinger Racing was literally the first team to call out. And now Noah Hart aboard the 18 Dairy Queen Chevrolet for Flickinger Racing, which is hard enough to believe that he has been back after a 6-season hiatus. His last start was back in season 2. So it's hard enough to believe it's been that long that Noah Hart's been coming back to the series. However, he is not the longest driver who's making a comeback to the series. We'll talk more about all the drivers who are coming back and everything as we go through the lineup. And speaking of another driver making a comeback, Jeff James, who is in the 20 for Archangel Racing, taking over Eric Burns' old ride. Jeff James, his last start was back in Season 5 of the NRSL Outback Xfinity Series, driving the 54 Monster Energy Toyota. And then spent a couple seasons away from the NRSL, and now here he is making his Cup debut in the 20. A big risk for Archangel, but he knows it's going to be a rookie class when you try to get some new faces in there. But we shall see how it works out for Jeff James. Could he surprise some people? We shall see. IK9, his main primary sponsor, as well as Snapple, aboard for the season. JT Bryan, a single-car team out of Mythical Racing, driving the Ford with Shell Pennzoil. A different look indeed, especially the fact that Pennzoil is now in the white letters instead of its traditional before in the Ford Mustang. No surprise, JT Bryan really trying to go out there and prove himself because of the fact that last season he won at Papyrus, came a little short at Open Roads, and now here he is with a newer look to that 22 team. We shall see what happens to Bryan. He did have a little bit of a slump as well. We want to talk about guys who bombed hard. Clint Spillman, the 24, he keeps his 2018 scheme for 2019. And what sucks for Clint is he had a really big promo about it, and then it fell apart horribly. So he's looking to rebound for sure. He had a chance to win at Mosport, but unfortunately the lap cars basically said nope. So Clint Spillman looking for some big redemption. He needs it badly. He really wants to win, let alone prove the fact he can still race. Joshua Osborne in the 27. Well, I'll tell you what, he definitely had the sophomore slump despite the fact that he won at Zenjoltis, the finale. We'll talk more about Johanna Outward Motorsports' biggest moment, though, that they had in the season when that happened because of a certain somebody that won. Regardless, though, Joshua Osborne looking for some redemption. We shall see. Dylan Poteet, the Season 5 champion for Tweenix Racing. Got Crate Clips coming back to the series as Caterpillar isn't the main primary sponsor, just a little sponsor on here and there in some cars. But it's good to see Poteet bring back a good sponsor he hasn't used in a while. Great Clips. Again, we mentioned about the whole Tweenix debacle and all that. He made the chase last season. But the good news is, brought his friend Alex Drayton as a teammate for the season. Hopefully it works out not just for him, but also, can he make the chase again and win it? We shall see. Got to prove a lot of people wrong. Devin Becker aboard the 36 Ream Toyota. And he announced that this will be his final season in the NRSL. Becker has mentioned that, this is the only series that he's been a part of, and now this is the last hurrah, he says. He's finally made it back to the Cup Series. He wants to go out with a bang. Hopefully he does. Fingers crossed. At least one more win could really be in the matter, let alone making the chase. He had a chance to make the chase a couple seasons ago, but I think you remember what happened with him and Seth Cole at Talladega. Keith Batson aboard the Palomilla Ford Mustang there. No surprise, keeping his main primary sponsors and Navy aboard as well. Keith Batson, one thing about him, he said he's definitely looking for a redemption factor there. He nearly won the Daytona 500 last season, and then ever since then, he basically catapulted himself towards the bottom of the points, finished in the top 30, so he's looking for a little redemption as well as the Palomilla Ford for KAV Racing Enterprises. They are back to a single-car team. Courtney Keith going to make her rookie debut for Sight Keith Motorsports. She had a terrific season in the Xfinity Series last season, and Kyle Keith gave her the call up to Cup, so she's driving the number 40 Bass Pro Shops. McDonald's is also supposed to be on board for this season, but this is the main primary sponsorship that's on board the 40. An interesting look regardless, though. Kyle Keith, speaking of him, aboard the 42. There's been rumors circulating about him with what's going to happen in the offseason. There hasn't been official statements yet, but we shall see what happens, though. Again, if you'll hear about all those statements when you head on down to Discord, then you'll see every type of announcement going on by. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. Kyle Keith, though, this is not his primary ride. This is his secondary, because there's one that's similar to Courtney Keith's ride, but just for the diversity's sake there. This is a secondary ride, which is Office Depot. He's got a Daytona 500 scheme of Target, and of course, Bass Pro Shops is the main primary sponsor. Audrey Baranowskis in the 46 stays with the 46 team after HRT went down and under. And you notice Nathan Hudson was not in the 11 there. That was Ramian Fisher. Baranowskis was the only one that was there, got left out in the dry, and a lot of questions circulated. That was when Baranowskis is a good friend, and let alone who helped the program there, William Brock, bought the team as Full Throttle Motorsports, put Fisher in the 11, Baranowski's in the 46, and put him to Chevrolets. Delta Airlines, the main primary sponsor for the 46 team. Cody Lamas, I don't know what else to really say except for the fact he's in the 48. Lowe's not the primary sponsor. Ally Bank is. He's in the 48. Loves Jimmy Johnson. Blah, 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 blah. He won in Mosport. That's pretty much it. Excuse me. Connor Mire in the 51 has got a Sense 4K TV for Mire Racing Toyota. No surprise that, he was looking to get his first win last season. He got it done at Chicagoland, although it kind of went as an up and down season. Only one car made the chase last season. That was Phil Parker. I forgot to mention that as well. That was the only car that made it. The other good thing that happened to that team, though, was that they actually won a race with all their drivers. Mire won at Chicagoland, Parker won at Armory, and then Joshua Sicoli at the time, who drove the 54, which you see the name right there, not being Sicoli, but I think you're going to get where I'm going. He won at Washington, D.C. So, interesting fact of the matter is that, Mire Racing Toyota, they got that deed done. Now let's see if they can get Connor Mire, let alone their next current driver that's below them, into the chase. But Mire, he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to go out this season being this is his best right here. Brett Pritchard aboard the 54, taking over Joshua Sicoli's ride and getting him from Psyche Motorsports. The crazy thing about Brett Pritchard, he started out with Mire Racing Toyota, and then Psyche Motorsports after 4 races took care of the ride. Now Brett Pritchard back with Mire Racing Toyota, this time for a full season. Bang Energy aboard for this season along with Gumout. That's the main primary sponsor you see in that 54 team right there, which I actually do like the colors. Tell Mire that, please. It's actually good. Regardless, though, Bang Energy aboard the 54 team. Can't wait to see what will happen. Diego Yepes in the number 59 for Bishop Family Racing aboard the Husky colors. They also have Miller Lite on board this season. That was Zachary Fitzwater's old ride/team, and they basically rebranded it to a Mercedes for Bishop Family Racing. And yes, you heard that right. Mercedes on board for this season. You are not hearing it, folks. That sounds like a fluke. Mercedes coming to the NRSL for the first time is Bishop Family Racing. They have took the gamble, and here they are trying to see if it will work out for sure. Best of luck to Yepes. It is a big risk, though, especially the fact his last Xfinity start was Season 7. He's also making his return as well. James Qualls, well, I'll tell you what, last season was a great one. He snapped a 250-race winless streak that dated back to Season 2 at Phoenix. You heard that right, folks. Season 2 at Phoenix was the last victory for James Qualls before winning at Daytona under the lights last season, and exactly 250 races. On top of that, with Osborne's victory, for the first time ever, the little team, Johanna Atwood Motorsports, they managed to win with both cars. Now, 4Travel Motor Coach is not aboard as primary sponsor. Castrol GTX is. That was their secondary sponsor. And originally, they weren't going to have the sponsorship funding to James Qualls. He was going to run underfunded. Castrol GTX then came in and said, you know what? We got you, Qualls. We got you covered. So they're going to be aboard the 70 team this season, the entirety. That is their main scheme they run, with an exception of a throwback that's going to be announced later on for that team, as well as Osborne as well. But James Qualls, Castrol GTX, back with them. Ember Ross got the main Toyota Camry aboard for the 77. That's going to be the main primary sponsorship right there. Ross had an interesting season there. My memory serves me correctly. I believe she did win a race. I could be wrong on that. Regardless, kind of was an up and down season for Ross. Finished around the top 25 in the points. Ross, though, did mention that, she got her rookie season going in the Cup Series. It's out of the way. And now that she's in the sophomore mode, this is probably the time where she's probably going to have a good season. We shall see, though. Best of luck to Ember Ross, though. She's the only driver, keep in mind, of Archangel Racing altogether, Xfinity and Cup, that has stayed with the team. Everyone else either retired or just flat out left the team. So, lots of changes. Hopefully it works out for them, but it's going to be really weird for new faces and those rookie stripes all over the place for certain drivers. Jesse Turner makes his call up to the Cup Series after spending a season in the Xfinity Series. Really didn't have a good season in that 78, but Bishop has decided to put the call up to Jesse Turner due to that fan favoritism and all. Turner aboard his lifelong sponsor of Affleck there for Bishop Family Racing. Kind of weird seeing a Mercedes, but regardless, though, Turner bringing along Affleck as well as different Affleck liveries as well. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with Jesse Turner. Best of luck. He hopefully doubts some haters wrong for sure. Alex Drayton also had... I said Alex Drayton. Alex Ferranti. I'm used to saying Drayton because he's had a good season. Ferranti also having ally aboard this season. A different look than Cody Lamas's for sure. You can tell with the look of the difference of schemes. Regardless, though, Alex Ferranti also has ally and Exalted Blast Records aboard. But this will be the main primary sponsor for that 84 team. Regardless, though, Ferranti, he's ready for whatever happens in his second season in that 84. So interesting what's going to happen with him and throughout the rest of the season. Hopefully some good things happen. Quentin Moore in the 89. He moves back to the 89. No surprise right there. No surprise after everything that happened. 2 seasons ago, he was aboard the 89. Last season, he was the only driver for Gardner Motorsports to make the chase in the 34. And now this season, he's all racing with Jesus bound. He's got blue right now. He's got his 2005, which is the green. And then there's rumored to be the blue. Or, I'm sorry, the red. The purple and the black, which you heard from Preseason Thunder. So, regardless, so this will be the one that'll run the Daytona 500. And you've seen this one in Preseason Thunder as well. So, regardless, best of luck to Quentin Moore. He hopefully gets a win. That'd be great if he could do it. Jeffrey Finguy in the 92, having Detroit Red Wings aboard for sponsorship as well as Rooster Teeth. No surprise right there. Asked Jeffrey Finguy for Finguy Pastrami for being a single-heart team. What he's looking forward to there. He says, well, just making sure we go out on top there no matter what. He won at Homestead last season. That was his only big thing that happened other than a struggling season as well. He's looking for some redemption. Most importantly, he's hoping to get the job done. Just trying to find a way to pull some victories out of his, well, you know what. Regardless, Jeffrey Finguy. Tim Fiegel aboard the 95 for Auto Owners Insurance. This is his rookie debut in the NRSL altogether. And Navarro's decided why not bring him to Cup. So Tim Fiegel having Auto Owners as primary sponsor, Bass Pro Shops as a secondary, and a few others as well for that 95 team. Regardless, though, Tim Fiegel, he's looking forward to this season for sure. Can't wait to see what will happen with him. RJ Bishop, the Xfinity champion, having Gear Wrench aboard this season, as well as many other schemes as well for Bishop Family Racing. Again, when they made the announcement they were moving to Mercedes, it definitely broke wind for sure. There was rumors of that manufacturer coming to the NRSL, and here they are making their statement. We'll see if Bishop can get the job done, let alone any of those drivers can bring that manufacturer to victory lane. Going to be a big challenge for them. We'll see if they can do it. And Levi McIntyre back in the 99. They have Sitco aboard as their main primary sponsor. They also got Exide, and then they have the 2005 scheme of Scott's. Sitco, they said, will be the main primary sponsor for that 99 team for this season. The Exide will be for the throwback race at Atlanta, and then the Scots will be the Talladega race when we run the 2005 team race. So that is your Cup rosters. You can see right there. We will see you in a bit for the Xfinity Series, so interesting transition. And here we are for the Xfinity Series. You notice there's a new look to the Xfinity Series. We're using the S&G Cup 2005 mod, which that originally last season was the NXS 17. So we went with a different look, downgrade to the Gen 4 cars, and here we are at this point in time, Season 9 of the Xfinity Series. Hard enough to believe. So let's get on down right to it. Going to be a lot of rookies and a lot of returnees, mainly in this series too. So we got Sean Ard in the 1 for Flickager Racing. Chevrolet Corvette's going to make its debut for Xfinity. Especially the fact Xfinity has a wide variety of mods there. Or manufacturers, I mean. Jake Baskinger for... I don't know why I said Full Throttle, and I meant to be Throttle. Sorry there. Don't know why I have it as Throttle. That was dumb. I don't know if I have it for all the cars there. I hope not. But Jake Baskinger, once again, in his second season with the team, third altogether, returning to the team with Red Bull aboard as primary sponsor. Had a good season for the most part. Made the chase. Won at Indianapolis to break his winless streak. And Jake Baskinger hopefully now that he's got his win streak out of the way, it means we could see more wins out of that 2 team. Riley Keith, a 3rd generation Keith sister there. Well, not 3rd generation, 2nd generation, but the sister also of Kyle Keith. Regardless, Kyle Keith decided to bring in Riley, and they bring aboard Pepsi for the 3 team. And if you notice, they were bringing Mercedes into the team. So Mercedes makes its debut to the NRSL altogether. And as well as bringing in rookie Marty Johnson, having Petronas on board for the season. I think that's how you pronounce it. Is Petronas or Petronas? Petronas? I don't know. It's a new sponsor to me. I hope I'm not going to butcher it, but I believe it's called Petronas. They also have Mercedes as well. Very nice looking scheme. So Marty Johnson making his rookie debut. The only thing I've known about him in the series outside of here is he's been a part of NFSRL and I believe one other league as well. I cannot remember. Sean Ard. He's been a few here and there too, especially in the FBRL. Daniel Olson, you notice he has been downgraded to the Xfinity Series. Having number 5 on board, Mountain Dew as a Chevrolet, Amp Energy. No surprise of the fact that, he had a bad season despite winning at Ireland. Still, Olson really just trying to be himself. Gardner Racing, they told him, you got to really shine, man. If you don't, you're going to get the boot. So Olson now being downgraded to the Xfinity Series. We shall see what happens to him. Hopefully he proves some people wrong. Adam Garcia in the number 6, making his rookie debut. He's been a part of the NSCRA and a few others as well. He's got Nintendo Switch with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate there as the car for the race. Very nice looking scheme. I love this one a lot, especially the detail it's shown. Gonna be fancy to see this Corvette out there on the track. Cole Deaver having GMAC aboard for this season. After the last few seasons he's had Liberty University. Evans Gardner has kept him, no surprise. So Deaver had a very little bit of a rough season towards the beginning. He made the chase. Then towards the end, whatever happened, he brought some life, but just a little too late. Just fell a little short in the battle for the championship. But Cole Deaver, hopefully this is where his breakout season happens. He has the opportunity to do it right here. Hopefully he proves people wrong. Teejay Handley, sad reacts, no corn hub on the car. I know, I'm kind of sad as well. But he has quick way signs aboard for this season. I asked Handley about what his opportunity is for this season. He said just go out with a bang. He really showed some people wrong when he won 2 races, let alone the All-Star race last season. So he's going to be in the All-Star race for this season because he's a previous time winner. But Handley, though, definitely could be a face to keep an eye on for his sophomore season. We shall see what happens for that 07 team. Hopefully proves some people wrong with what's going to happen. And speaking of returns, Eugene DeMax has shocked the world there. Season 2 Xfinity Series champion, finally making his comeback status there. Bringing along Busch Beer and bringing aboard his own team, Texan Racing, in the Toyota Supra. So, Eugene DeMax, he's got another teammate as well, which we'll get to him. It's going to be quite a ways, though. But DeMax, great to see him back. His last start was all the way back in Season 3. So that's another one of the guys making their comeback status as well. Remember last season we had Jake Baskinger there. This season we got DeMax and then a whole bunch of other people. Cole Baker making his rookie debut. He's got Arizona T aboard that 11 team right there. One thing to say about Cole Baker for sure is the fact that he's been a part of the NSC Race Series and going to be a part of the FBRL this upcoming season as well. But one thing about Baker, though, man, his Speedway program is really, really good, let alone his road course is very underrated. Don't doubt this 11 team at all. Speaking of comebacks as well, Jonathan Zorley makes his comeback. He's a part of Fisher Motorsports, but a part of Audi. It is the only Audi in the lineup. Now, I asked Zorlin, why did he actually be a part of the Fisher Motorsports? He said, obviously, I'm looking for a ride. And Fisher was the first to contact me. When I asked Fisher about being an Audi instead of Chevrolet, he said, you know what? We're going to be rebels. Why not? Credit One Bank aboard for their primary sponsorship. No surprise. Ramey Fisher had a rough season, his final Xfinity start. His brother Nathan, though, had a really good run. But Ramey knows he made the call up to Cup. They had a ride open. 22 went bye-bye. And they contacted Jonathan Zerlin. He makes his return to the NRSL after a couple seasons of a hiatus as well. His last Xfinity start was 2 seasons ago. So not really much of a comeback, but still great to see him back in the NRSL altogether. Patrick Smith literally going to be the team captain for the Xfinity Series for Mire Toyota Racing there. With Alliance Truck Bars aboard for his primary sponsorship, I got to ask Patrick Smith, what's it going to be like in your second season to really go out there and have to lead a team? He says, well, it happens, but you got to be ready for whatever goes along the way. He's got a lot to teach the young guns out there, which you'll see in a bit. Patrick Smith had a little bit of a rough season in the Xfinity Series, but with a new look on that 15, let alone on the new mod, hopefully things turn for better. Jonathan Huff making his rookie debut with AutoZone Monster Energy aboard for his 16 car. I don't know much about Jonathan, though. I think part of the NIRA, he's had some starts. That's pretty much all I know of. Regardless, though, Huff, Nathan Stapleton really made a big upgrade. They hired 3 drivers aboard their team for NS Racing, so we shall see what'll happen. Jonathan Huff, though, really looking forward to see what he can do. Eli Bright making his rookie debut in the Combos Toyota. This actually took over FP Jones III's ride. Has Combos aboard for the entirety of the season. Is Archangel Racing. Eli Bright, I don't know much about him except for a few NS Series starts as well. Regardless, Eli Bright, trying to get ready to make some NRSL experience here. Ryan Acosta making his return to the NRSL competition. Coming aboard the Xfinity Series and having Slim Jim aboard for St. Keith Motorsports. Definitely a big surprise that St. Keith made that move. They gave a call out to Ryan Acosta to have him come back to the series. And I asked Kyle, I said, why Ryan? He said, well, he has made some starts before and he's proved he can make the chase. And, you know, obviously he's been wanting to get his comeback for sure. But Ryan Acosta, been, I believe, since the same season as Zorlin, season 7. So, great to see Acosta come back to the series. Hopefully he can prove some people wrong as well. Michael Wallen aboard the 21 for Menards and Jack Links. He got downgraded Xfinity Series. They could not get the deadline for the Cup team that was there. So unfortunately they had openings in Xfinity. No surprise. And he's got Menards, Jack Links aboard. Very nice looking scheme in that Mustang right there. Michael Walton had a bit of an okay season in that 2 car there. Just really nothing a whole lot to say except for the fact that, well, Walton really just needed to prove himself here in the Xfinity Series to really show why he deserves to come back to the Cup Series. So, Walton, keep an eye on that 21. Going to be interesting to see for the MWR team. Vince Almeriego making his return to the Xfinity Series as well. Also, like the last time he started 2 seasons ago. So, this is his secondary season aboard the 24 Sun Energy 1 Mercedes for St. Keith Motorsports. Now, Vince has not got a win yet, so he's trying to get that win to prove some people wrong as well. Hopefully he does that. Thank Memer. Nicholas Guerra making his return. He is the longest out of all the drivers making his return to NRSL competition. Season 2 of the Xfinity Series was the last time we've seen Nicholas Guerra. And if my memory serves me correctly, I believe he has a win in the series. I could be wrong. I'll have to look back at the tapes. I'm pretty sure he won a race. I could be wrong, though. Regardless, though, Nicholas Guerra, happy to see him back for sure in the Castle GTX. But if you notice, they are not in a Chevrolet for Jehanna Motorsports. They're in a Toyota. What a twist indeed. Ryan Griffin, one of the biggest shocks, and I did have full throttle. Yikes. I thought it was Toronto, but I did not. And I believe, for the 2, I just want to double check. I don't think it... Yep, I did. Okay, good. Sorry, I know. Professionalism. Professionalism at its finest. Ryan Griffin, though, I think I'm going to have to change it for the 33, too. Regardless, he's brought along Little Caesars aboard for the 29. That was actually, if my memory serves me correctly, Emmanuel Hardnett's old ride. And Hardnett did not have a good season, and basically, he basically left the series altogether. So they were looking for a person to take over that ride. Ryan Griffin, they looked in the free agency, said, this is the man we want. He's had plenty of experience in the FBRL, and I believe in another series as well. And now going to be making his stride in the NRSL competition. Great to see it. His lifelong sponsor of Little Caesars aboard. I feel like a lot of the people at FBRL, they're coming to the series, with the exception of a few certain people, if you know what I mean. And, yep, I figured I did that with Sicoli as well, so let me fix this real quick. I thought I changed it, but I did not. Apologies. Regardless, Joshua Sokoli in the 33 for Coors Light. Now, originally this sponsorship was going to be the Jake Baskinger, but of course, he made a statement saying that, he's had some issues with the whole beer sponsor thing. He's not too keen with it. So, Sokoli having aboard Coors Light for the 33 team after Southern Point goes away. So, it's good to see the Silver Bullet back out on track. Regardless, though, can't wait to see the Silver Bullet back out on track in NRSL competition. Matthew Eves making his rookie debut with money line for Mire Toyota Racing in the Super as well. I don't know much about Matthew. I know he's got an awesome Discord server. I know, jokes aside. But I really don't know if he's made any other starts in any other leagues. I believe he's made it in the NSDCA. I could be wrong on that. Regardless, Matthew Eves making some NRSL competition stride over here. James Ellison making his rookie debut. I know we got a bunch of rookies all over the place. He's got Stauffer's aboard for the season. I know he's going to have... Yep, that is his primary sponsor throughout the time. Stauffer's his main primary sponsor for S3 Motorsports. Yes, you heard that right. S3 Motorsports, which... I should put that on here. I thought I did, but I guess I did not. Regardless, James Ellison, I don't know if he's made any other starts outside of here, other than Rogers Series. Zach Rogers, to be exact. I mean, like, NRSL, I think. I don't think so. But Ellison has done not bad in Zach Rogers Series. Hopefully it comes over to this series really good as well. Sebastian Kukulon aboard Bass Pro Shops for Keith Motorsports. You're probably wondering what happened to Sega Keith Motorsports. Well, Keith Motorsports wanted to fund the 42 themselves to help out Sebastian Kukulon. He's been really good in the S3 T-Mobile Cup Series in both seasons. If you noticed last season, he nearly won the championship. This season, in the NRSL, he's making his rookie debut for the Mercedes team. Cannot wait to see. He's got a lot of hype around him. We shall see if he definitely sparks in this series. Garrett Sidner aboard the 44 team for Flickinger Racing. Dr. Pepper aboard his primary sponsor. Notice too, on the side it also has his name, which is actually pretty funny. Regardless, though, Garrett Sidner's made some starts in the NCAA series, and I believe in another series as well. Regardless, Sidner can be making his rookie debut in that Chevrolet Corvette. Can't wait to see what he's able to do. Very excited. He's got a good hype as well. Austin Yoakum in the Peace Tea car. Peace Tea. Regardless, Yoakum, I don't know much about him. I know he's in a very nice looking scheme. I think this is probably one of my favorites that's been painted so far. It's definitely got some color and uniqueness to it. Regardless, Austin Yoakum making his rookie debut for Mire Racing. They definitely had some upgrades for that team as well. Aaron Douglas taking over Connor Meyer's ride in the 51, making his rookie debut. U-Theory leaving the Cup side, funding the Xfinity side. So it's good to see some sponsorships come back and all. Connor Meyer decided Aaron Douglas would get the opportunity, and here he is in that 51. Can't wait to see what he's able to do. Steve Pollard making his rookie debut, but Pollard's last start in any NRSL series was back when Stephen Pollard III drove the 42 back in Season 2. It has been that long as well in the Cup Series. I believe it's been that long. I could be wrong about that. It was Season 2 or Season 3. Regardless, though, Pollard is back in NRSL competition, but making his rookie debut in Xfinity. So, great to see him making his comeback stats as well. Rob Evans, excuse me there, I had something in my throat there. He's going unsponsored for the time being for Evans Gardner Motorsports. That's going to be the captain for the Xfinity Series. They may get some sponsorship along the way, but regardless, though, Rob Evans, he's been watching through Johnny's Pit Box last season, and now finally he's getting his call up. He's ready to shine. He'll be making his rookie debut. And now, for the first time ever, we can get your nice comments coming in the premiere mode. Get your nice comments coming in, because the car number 69 finally makes its NRSL debut for the Xfinity Series, but G Fuel aboard. I don't know why it says BFR, too. It's Mission Family Racing. I put that for short. Gary Owen in the 69. I don't know much about him, except the fact that, again, G Fuel is going to be aboard this season. I don't know if he's had any experience outside of here. But, yep, the nice comments, get them in while you're here in premiere mode, because that was nice. Bobo Jones making his rookie debut for Johann Atwood Motorsports. Panhandle for Travel is going to be aboard for this season for that team. So the Toyota Supra from there is going to be making its rookie debut. Can't wait to see what Bobo Jones. I know he's made his debut through Norla. He's been really good out there. And a little bit in the FBRL as well. So Bobo Jones does have some experience in other leagues. So here he's in the NRSL competition aboard the Supra. Benny Watson is the last of the Flickinger Racing cars with Hooters and Napa Autoports aboard. He is the lone veteran for the team, and unfortunately Watson had a disastrous rookie season. But this could be good because the sophomore season could be coming, and that means it could not be a slump. We shall see. Benny Watson literally going to have to lead all the rookies there of Garrett Sidner, Sean Ard, and Adam Garcia to show him what it takes to be ready as an NRSL driver, while trying to redeem his season from last season as well. Skylar Dixon aboard the 77. He has SponsorDixon.com, a plain white car, but has that little sponsorship on the sides for Archangel Racing, which is a very simple but flat-out design right there. Skylar Dixon, ready to see his rookie debut. He was in this season's T-Mobile Cup Series, but the season before of the T-Mobile Cup Series. Not last season, but the season before. So, interesting to see his rookie debut this season. Madison Tall, the second car for NS Racing, has Freightliner Alpine Stars for the 80 team for NS Racing. I don't know much about her except for the fact that she's had experience in NIRA. Other than that, she's got a nice looking scheme as well. I like it a lot. We'll see what happens to Madison Tall, another female in the field. Jackie Tang having some sponsorship from Taco Bell in the 81 after being around the 7 car last season, his rookie debut. Now in his sophomore season with the Xfinity team is the season 6 Cup champion. Still got a lot to prove out there, what he's able to make of here. Tang trying to see what he can do in the Evans Gardner Taco Bell car. Get the bell rung there. Hopefully gets it done. Gets a win. Shows Evans Gardner he wants to be called up to Cup. Carter Friesen stays in the 85, but has SunTrust as his primary sponsor on that Supra. One thing I did mention with Carter was that, he just didn't have a good season last season. Rookie seasons are also a here and there thing, and you got to really prove some people wrong. But we'll see what happens to Friesen, though. Aboard his, horrible that I'm yawning at this time. It's bad. It's like 12:40 at the time it's recording. Yikes. SunTrust aboard. Hopefully he gets his first career win this season. Elijah Leonard. It's no surprise. I guess Bang's really popular these days. Want a Bang. Bang Energy aboard for primary sponsorship. I believe this is the Rainbow Unicorn flavored car, as mentioned. I don't know what Printer's was off my memory, but I can tell by seeing the colors exactly what it is, and I've seen it before. Regardless, Elijah Leonard, his sophomore debut, I guess you could say, his sophomore season there. I don't know how really to put it, but Leonard trying to really have to fix a disastrous rookie season. And remember, he flipped in that first race too really badly, so hopefully he doesn't flip this race. Fingers crossed. Vince Freeze making his rookie debut with the debuting Texan Racing. Motul is the sponsorship for the 90 team. Very nice looking scheme. I actually love this a lot because it's actually got some nice looking color to it and actually has, I believe, a little bit of a chrome look as well. Vince Freeze, I know he's had debuts in FBRL, and I don't know if he's had any other outside of there. Regardless, he'll be making his NRSL debut this season. He's got some really good hype, too. Travis Crompton, I believe is how you mention his name. I could be wrong. It's Crompton or Crampton or Compton. I could be wrong. One thing about Travis, though, he's had experience in IRA, and he's looking forward to whatever happens in this season. So best of luck to Travis. Rockstar Energy aboard for the season. If you also noticed, we have a lot of different energy drinks. Kind of weird, too, how the 16 has a Monster Energy while this one has Rockstar. Kind of weirdly ironic. And then you have Bang Energy as well, and Red Bull as well with Baskinder. The Battle of the Energy drinks really going to kick on in this season. Brandon Crasta making his rookie debut this season. He's going to be aboard Archangel Racing with Gear Wrench aboard in that 95 squad there. One thing about Crasta, I know he's had experience in the NRSL Mobile Cup Series. He's never had experience in the NRSL Series until this season. Archangel Racing has given the call up to Brandon Crasta, and here he is being ready for Xfinity Series season for Season 9. Hard to believe we're at Season 9 too. The last veteran driver we got, Nathan Stapleton aboard his third season, that 97 for NS Racing, with Advanced Auto Parts aboard and Powerade. They went with a different look. They went with yellow and red compared to red and yellow. Nathan Stapleton, though, ready for whatever happens. He wants to break out. He wants to show when this first season came around, there was no fluke. So we'll see what will happen to Nathan Stapleton. Try to see if he makes the chase, let alone one of their drivers does. Now we got Andrew Miller aboard Motorcraft for Bishop Family Racing, who takes over RJ's championship-winning ride there. Andrew Miller making his rookie debut. I know he's had experience, I think, in the NCAA competition. Give me a second. Excuse me. Andrew Miller, I know he's had a little experience also in the NCAA Mobile Cup Series, and I believe in the main NCAA Series as well that goes on around. Motorcraft, the main primary sponsor for the team. So we shall see what will happen to that Ford Mustang. And last but not least, Jay Cook in the 99 for Bishop Family Racing. This was actually the, I want to say this was the 87, or not the 87, the 88 rather, and then rebranded to the 99, and I believe the 69 was the 78 rebranded. I believe that was what it was gathered. Regardless, though, Jay Cook going to be making his rookie debut for the team with Logitech aboard for the primary sponsorship, as my dogs are barking again. I don't know why. Regardless, though, Jay Cook going to make his rookie debut with Logitech on board. And that is it. Those are all the drivers that you see for both series. So real quick, I believe Kyle will showcase the ARCA schemes on his channel for those who are part of that series and who are in a little bit of both here and ARCA. So links will be out for the description for those who want to join the Discord and want to check out all the works of the people who painted all these cars. A big thanks to all those who did that. So folks, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for seeing all of the schemes on display for both the Cup Series and Xfinity Series. We will see when the season starts. I'm waiting on Warren's end whenever he gets that ready. At the time of this recording, I know he's kind of near halfway done on the cars. Maybe a little more now, but regardless, whenever it comes out, though, we shall see when the announcement comes of when the season will start. Until then, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later for when Daytona comes around for Daytona Speed Weeks. Until then, this is your boy D Young signing off. See you guys later on.